Are you ready to be back, Kendall?
I am ready. We're fucking back.
Yeah, let's go then. Let's do it then. Welcome everybody to Bad Potatoes Out, the show where Mike and I judge random people on the internet. Now, if it's your first time listening to the show, we do appreciate you being here. If it's not your first time listening to the show, welcome back. And it's a welcome back for us as well. We did not quit. We will never quit.
Never.
We won't stop until all the assholes on the internet are judged. And I just looked today, still a lot of assholes on the internet. So we have a lot of judging to do. So joining me today is my co-host, Michael Travers.
Glad to be back.
Good to be back.
Feels good to be here.
Feels good to be here. And here's how the show goes. If you're not familiar with the show, our beautiful wives, Kendall and Alana. Kendall and Alana.
Hello.
Hi.
Read us 2 stories they find across Reddit. Mike and I choose the headline that we think would be the funniest to blind react to. They read the story. We blind react. It's a lot of fun. If you are here for the first time or if you're here returning but you haven't liked, reviewed, subscribed anywhere podcasts are available, please give us that follow button. Give us that subscribe button. It means the world to us. Costs you nothing. Means the world to us. If you're wondering why we took a few weeks off, hey, Mike.
Well, started with vacation.
Yes,
Yes,
it did.
we were all
did.
on vacation.
Then it ended with a robbery. Yeah. We were robbed the day we came home from vacation.
Yeah.
So that set us back a while.
What'd they take?
You know, they took some. I guess the main thing they took were key fobs.
Which and what do those do?
They apparently
Yeah.
start your car and open it and unlock it, but they took them, and then
Both of them.
they took both.
Yeah.
Smart. And then they came back the next day for the car. And so it was a two-part. It was a two-parter. It was a robbery to be continued.
It was a break-in.
And it was a cliffhanger. Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto.
So they stole your car.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he didn't have they couldn't get over here to record the podcast.
No.
So we couldn't record the podcast.
Yeah.
But we are back in full force now,
Yes.
and better than ever. I feel like refreshed, ready to go.
Should also point out that we slept through a robbery.
We did sleep
Yeah.
through a robbery.
I woke up to a text message from our kid who chased the robber out of the house, yelling and running and jumping out windows, and we slept through all of that.
I got
didn't know
woken
you
up
were
to Mike
there.
saying, "Hey, Kendall, come
Yeah.
downstairs. The police are here. Someone was in our house."
Yeah.
And I was like, "What?"
I'm so trained to
Dead
to hear
asleep.
my phone that I slept through all that other stuff. And then when I got a text message, I was like, oh, I'm awake. And I see it says call 911. I was like,
That's
you,
terrifying.
is this like a prank? And he's like, no, call 911. I'm on foot right now chasing. Anyway,
That
Wild.
is
But we're all
awesome.
safe.
We're all
That's
safe.
the most
That's the most important thing, and we're all back here, which
And
is
we
the
are.
second most important thing.
Absolutely.
Kendall, kick us off with 2 stories here.
Oh my goodness, I am so excited. Okay, here's our first 2 options. Am I the asshole for leaving the dry wedding early
No.
to go out?
No, you are not. You're the asshole for having a dry wedding.
we're even going to it.
Or am I the asshole for getting into an argument with my husband because he left me during my surgery?
I mean,
Let's do dry wedding.
The dry wedding does sound
Do
like
dry
I
something
think the
that we
dry
could-
wedding
yeah.
is, pretty funny and interesting. Okay.
Okay.
Here we go. Am I the asshole for leaving the dry wedding early to go out? So 2 weeks ago, I, 35 female, went to a wedding in our college town for a member of our college friend group. My husband and I left the kids with my parents and went out. We got a Verbo with another couple that we went to college with for a few days. We do not have a ton of time to ourselves away from the kids, so we were very excited to let loose.
They were about to go old school. They're about to start a frat.
40 hands and stuff like that. They're just ready to go.
Oh,
Like when you
for
tape the
sure.
40s to your hands, yeah, they were ready.
On the invitation, it said that the wedding went to 11 with an after party with the bride and groom at the venue. The venue was a gorgeous mansion, and the bride and groom had rented it out for the night, and they were leaving early the next morning for their honeymoon. Cut to the wedding day, and it's a dry wedding. Apparently, the groom is 2 years sober. No one told us this ahead of time, and we were admittedly bummed out. When we found
Sorry,
out,
you're sober, Edward. Can't you just relapse for a little bit?
can't you just
Super
let
bummer.
us drink?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, it's
that
also
got-
true. Yeah, I know it ruined your life, but you're
Yeah.
ruining my night right now. So
What's that got to do with the rest of us?
yeah,
Ed?
Ed,
Is his
we
name
gotta-
Edward, or we just?
I think
yeah,
we made
no,
that
I
up,
think
but
you
I'm
made
okay
that
with
up,
it.
Yeah.
Apparently, the groom is 2 years sober. No one told us this, and we were admittedly bummed. When we found out that there was no alcohol, we decided to tell people that we were going to go to some bars afterwards
Yeah.
and not go to the after party.
Deal.
We left the wedding around 9:30 because we were itching to go out and the wedding was boring.
Wow.
Pretty
Really,
much
a bunch of sober people dancing was boring. A bunch of sober people dancing, not making
Celebrating
any
your
bad
nuptials.
decisions.
Wait, why are we doing the chicken dance?
Again. You know, my dream in life is to love something as much as white people love songs that tell them how to dance.
Oh,
you know
for
what I mean? Like
sure.
slide to the left. You know, you get some white people out there for that
Oh,
one.
it's something
absolutely.
that,
Fills the dance floor.
that we all
Yeah.
know how to do
Yeah.
Right.
together.
Yeah.
Together.
Yeah.
It makes us feel coordinated.
It makes you feel. It makes you feel like you just joined a flash mob.
Yes.
For like
Yes.
for a moment.
left, to
Yeah.
the left, to the left, to the left.
How the hell do we all know this?
Are we savants?
Yeah.
So pretty much the whole college crew left around that time and went out. And apparently the bride's friend group did not stay for the party, but the grooms did. And the optics were very lopsided.
You probably met them in AA.
He probably did.
He has better friends.
Yeah.
It's true. We all heard from the bride about this, and she called us assholes for leaving. She said that she didn't feel supported and felt like we were spiting her and her now husband for his sobriety. I told her that she was reading too much into it and we just wanted to go out, but she's especially mad at me because I'm looked at as the ringleader of this outing. I don't think I've done anything wrong. Am I the asshole?
Yeah, I mean, you're the asshole for having a dry wedding. I just, it's one of those things where it's like it's not expected, but like two things I don't want to hear when at a wedding. I don't
Cash
want to
bar.
hear cash bar, and I don't want to hear dry wedding. Give me alcohol. Let me have fun.
Yeah.
It's a party.
Yeah.
We're there to party.
Yeah.
You can make your own decisions once you're there. And I understand, like, you probably had a problem, so it's ruining your life or whatever the case is.
For
but
sure.
You're ruining our
Yeah.
night.
Well, yeah. I mean, it is like you want to be sensitive to something like that. But,
Sure.
I mean, he also is inviting everyone to take off a day of their life to come celebrate them. Got to be some sacrifice on his part. You don't have to drink just because you're around it. And if it's that tenuous of a situation, you should have told everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
And the what from what it sounds like the wedding was over. This was the after party, which is I don't even
is
think
also
it's-
strange.
it's
Yeah,
not-
it
It
is.
it's
says
not a
the
normal-
ceremony started at 5 and the reception started at 6. So they left at 9:30.
Right.
And it was going to
Right.
end at 11
Yeah.
anyway. Yeah.
Well, wasn't that when the after party was ending?
I think so. I don't
The
know.
af-
Yeah.
The after party ends at 11.
Oh,
so
what-
like
Or
like,
the after party
that
was after. I'm not sure.
I thought the
Okay.
after party was after because it
Says
was at
that-
a mansion.
Yeah, the invitation says the wedding went to 11
Yeah.
with an after party. So
with
maybe
an
that
after
does count
party.
all.
Right.
Okay.
So I feel like they spent plenty of time
Yeah.
there. They're choosing not to go to the after
Absolutely.
party because they have also the other thing too is like once you graduate college, like getting all your friends together it doesn't weddings and funerals is
Yeah.
the only times that happens again.
Yeah.
So they're at a wedding. I'm sure all their college friends were in
Right.
town. They're like, let's go out and have a good time. Also, you just got married. Go spend the night with your husband that you
Right.
want to sleep with sober.
And you're talking mid-30s, so
Right.
most of them, a lot of them like that one in particular have kids now.
For
so
sure.
they
Oh,
are
yeah.
limited, and now they really wanted to have a good time.
So
and-
true.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. I'm gonna say you're not the asshole for this one.
No, not the
No.
asshole.
I say not the asshole too. I think you can have a cash bar at this kind of a wedding because
You could.
If
Yeah.
you're sober, I can completely understand not wanting to pay for other people
Right.
to drink all night. I get
Right.
that for sure. But not having it at all anywhere seems a little bit like you know what you're doing.
Alana, I don't think anybody would came to our wedding if it was a dry wedding.
We wouldn't have.
Mom,
My mom would have.
That's it.
We
not even your dad, just your
No,
mom.
just my mom. Yeah, he would have came. He'd just been drunk in the parking lot.
that'd have been like having no cake or
Right.
cookies or anything because you're diabetic.
Right.
Like hey,
That's
everyone.
fair.
Or only
Nobody.
having salad because you're on a very strict diet.
You're
Right. Yeah.
You're a
Yeah.
vegan.
Yeah.
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 Nobody's eating
Oh my
meat
God!
tonight.
Could you imagine? I didn't even think about that. Going to a vegan wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me what time the reception ends. I'll mail you a card.
Yeah.
That would suck. Yeah, not the asshole.
Not the asshole.
Lana?
No, not the asshole.
No,
Not the
you need
asshole.
alcohol.
You don't need alcohol, but it's
Well,
preferred.
well, you need alcohol. If,
That's-
if
I mean,
I'm
yeah,
going to
and
your
some of-
wedding,
A
It
lot of the
helps a
comments
wedding.
were like, "Oh, you need alcohol to have a good," and she's like, "Look, I'm ignoring that because that's
Right.
just like a dumb
Right.
thing to say in argument to this."
Also, no, but there were no drugs there either.
yeah,
You know, like,
yeah.
can't have- you
no
can't have
alcohol,
neither.
but there was a weed
Yeah.
bar.
Yeah.
yeah.
How are we
there-
supposed to have any fun
Yeah,
sober?
yeah.
assuming there's no cocaine
Yeah.
either. This party's going to be lame.
I wouldn't have married Mike if I was sober.
That's also true.
That is true. She's not kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, good job keeping her drunk for
Yeah.
all these years then.
Thanks.
Yeah. It's not easy.
It's not easy. It's expensive.
Yeah.
A divorce would have been cheaper at this point.
All right, are we ready for the next
Yes.
two?
Yes.
These are two very different titles.
Love that.
Okay. The first. Am I the asshole for being culturally insensitive about butter?
Okay.
Or am I the asshole for telling my neighbor to grow up, get a life, and get the fuck over the fact that I painted my house a color he doesn't like?
No. I mean, I like the neighbor one.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, cultural. I mean, how do you get culturally insensitive about butter? I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay. Am I the asshole for telling my neighbor to grow up, get a life, and get the fuck over the fact that I painted my house a color he doesn't like?
It's a great rhythmic headline.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Just bang, bang,
Good
bang.
flow.
I feel like Olivia Rodrigo could make that happen. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll send it to her after this.
Please.
I've already sang along at a concert.
Get a life.
Grow up.
Paint your house whatever.
It's like a George Michael's over here singing the fucking song.
We are the world. Okay, sorry.
I bought a house in a community without an HOA, and I wanted my home to be my home, and that includes making it look the way that I want. I also chose a neighborhood that already has fun, colorful houses instead of just plain earth tones. I finally got to the point where I could repaint my house. I picked a soft peachy color with sage, blue, and soft pink accents. Fun and colorful without being too out there.
Well, peachy, pink, and blue. That's a bright house.
okay.
I mean, that's a
Peachy, sage,
sage.
Okay.
blue,
He said, oh,
and soft pink accents.
Okay, now she did say colorful, but she didn't
Yeah.
say bright. I did
Right.
Oh, I
Google
took
it.
this as a guy.
oh,
Oh,
what?
it's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
girl.
guys, choose
Who's in their
sage.
house?
I
for
don't know
his house
why.
go.
I have this guy
Watch this.
pictured
What,
in
let
my
me ask.
head.
Watch this. Mike, what color is the outside of your house?
It's like it's like a light blue.
Okay, I was
yeah,
making
yeah.
sure you knew what it
Yeah.
was because
I was glad. I thought you were
what
going to
does
ask me what color sage was.
no, I just
spice.
I just think that that's how little men care
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I don't know why. I just automatically thought this was a guy.
To be fair, I googled the colors because they're fine. They're muted.
Coastal.
They're colorful,
Yeah, I
but
was
they're
gonna-
muted. It's not
Okay.
like, oh my god, look at that turquoise house. Like,
Right. I was
they're
gonna
muted
say-
and
Right.
they're nice.
Probably really depends like where you live too, if it matters. 'Cause, I
Right.
mean that color there, a block from the beach sounds delightful.
That's fair.
Or
Yeah.
a lake house. That sounds
Right.
right.
Oh my gosh, I feel
Or,
like
uh,
we're
Or
already,
like Charleston,
Yeah, right.
Key
Yeah.
West.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right,
Okay.
I feel like we're already on her side. What else
Yeah.
does she say?
Yep.
Okay. My neighbor Paul fucking hates it and has been complaining since we started the project. He also made his opinion known that he hates our front lawn. Lots of wildflowers and sunflowers, fun garden flags, a little free library, etc.
I love that.
Yeah.
So they're very like
like hippie-ish.
Community
yeah,
oriented.
Free spirited.
Yeah.
free spirited.
She probably lives in Polish Hill.
Yeah. She loves.
I was thinking like
weed.
Regent Square.
She loves pot.
Probably
She's probably
gardens.
my sister's neighbor.
Probably
Yeah.
gardens naked.
Yeah.
Probably.
I'll move into Paul's house.
Honestly, why not?
Well, let's see that paint though.
Each and every time I've told him that I don't care. And truly I don't. And I've suggested a few times that maybe he'd be happier in an HOA community that has control over everything and forces people into having earth-toned homes.
Probably right.
Paul got angry when I suggested that and said he's lived in his home for 15 years and shouldn't have to move.
He has seniority.
Yeah.
You have to paint what he
Yeah.
wants.
Times is a changing, Paul.
Paul said, "What's up?"
Yeah.
Them is the rules.
Them is the rule.
I told him, okay, well, you'll have to learn to live with a little color.
Aw.
Last weekend, I was putting in pavers that my niece and I had painted together. They're all things like ladybugs, turtles, birds, etc. in fun colors. I adore them, and my niece is so excited she gets to be a part of my home. Paul came over to complain yet again, saying it was an eyesore.
I
And
don't
my
like
nie-
ladybugs either.
Yeah.
Should have pointed that out.
Nature.
Can't stand insects.
My niece was here, so I just told him, it's time for you to grow up and get the fuck over what I'm doing with my home.
For sure.
He got even pissier and told me that I have no right to talk to him this way. Do I know who I'm talking to,
Oh.
etc.
Oh.
You're talking to Paul.
Do you know who you're
Community
talking to?
manager Paul.
Yes.
15 years seniority on this street alone.
Yeah.
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 Paul's like, I've lived here 15 years. AMA. Ask me anything.
AMA.
Is that?
Yeah, that's
I've
what it
never
means.
heard
It just was a funny.
Yeah.
I mean, people say that online. They
Yeah.
don't necessarily say that in person.
Yeah.
I never heard that one.
That's the joke.
I told him to just go away and get a fucking life. If he has so much free time to bitch and moan about a colorful home, maybe he should get a hobby.
Yeah.
He stormed off, calling me a nasty piece of work. And my niece was cracking up on the other side. Anyway, one of the other neighbors came to tell me that he's been flapping his yap about how disrespectful I
That
am.
is
What a
to talk to
great
him like
sentence.
that.
that is not where I thought you were gonna go with that. He's been flapping
his yap. Flapping his yap.
Flapping his yap.
Yeah, he's
I
been
like
pulling
that.
his nuts out and that's where I thought you were going because you said you stopped when you said flapping his, and you almost said
Because
dick.
I've never heard the... No, I didn't.
Well, it sounded like you were going to.
Never heard the term flapping his yap before. But I like
Well,
it.
you're gonna hear it later.
Oh, you're going to
You're
hear
gonna
a
get-
lot more of that
Yeah,
tonight.
you're gonna get your yap flapped.
Derek's going to be flapping his yap all night. now.
AMA.
Derek's definitely a yap flapper. He gets started.
Yep.
He'll flap that yap all night.
I mean, it does sound like the term like flick your bean, doesn't
I
it?
mean, it does. You're right.
Yeah.
It
Now
does
that we're
sound
saying it,
very
yeah.
similar.
It didn't at first.
Flap your yap.
Yeah.
Oh.
We just turned that dirty.
Yeah.
I love us.
What happened? What happened after you flapped his yap?
He came.
Yeah. I could show you what happens after, Kendall. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Hey,
The
you got
yap's
two. You
been
got 2
flapped.
minutes.
Yeah.
She told me that she knows he's a pain, but that he has been in the neighborhood forever and it's worth being nice to him.
15 years isn't forever.
That's
in the
Right.
true,
neighborhood.
too.
Right.
That's I mean, shit in Pittsburgh. That's a newbie. In
Yeah,
the neighborhood, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She just said, I don't know, is telling him to get a life that big of a deal? Am I the asshole?
I don't think so at all. I don't think she's an asshole at all. Like,
I think it starts and ends with it's your house. There are no rules. I don't care what your neighbors think
Yeah.
because it's not their property. If they have to look at it, Paul, if you don't like looking at that, here's an idea: burn your house down, collect the insurance money. All right.
house down.
I'll tell you where I'm coming from right now is I'm wondering what their security looks like.
Yeah.
Like what their home security, kind of window locks do they have
Yeah.
there? You know, is it
do they have an alarm system?
is it lit up out front?
Yeah.
Turns out you have to keep your alarm system on at your
Yeah.
house
Oh.
for it
Yeah.
to work
Interesting.
when you have a burglar.
Yeah, that's fair. You know,
we didn't think about that.
goes
So,
hand in hand a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say not the asshole here, only because it's her house. She can do whatever she
Yeah,
wants
of
with it.
course, not even close.
Totally.
Right.
And she implied that she moved to, again, first of all, there's no HOA. There are no
Right.
rules.
Right.
Right.
You
Right.
can like it or hate it, but there are no rules.
And that is her vibe. You can tell
For
everything
sure,
in
right.
there is her
Yeah.
And so I don't
vibe.
think
That's just
she's
the
doing
shit.
it distastefully. Like
No.
there's definitely
Right.
something to be said for someone that comes in and like trashes their yard or like, you know, puts a car in
Neglects
their
it.
in their yard or something like that. Yeah, neglects the house. But like,
Paints the-
she's doing it because she loves it and this is like
For sure, and
this is
that's what she
wants.
yeah, there's a house like by our boys' house that painted it like Cleveland brown colors. Like
Oh jeez.
yeah, I don't know like why, but like again, super aggressive, but it's their house.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, that's
Right. It's your resale value.
yeah.
Yeah. I know that's why he's mad because he's like, no one's gonna buy my house if it's next to this lady's like
Yeah, I think
cluttered
he's wrong.
yard or whatever.
Yeah, he's
but,
wrong.
like,
Yeah.
yeah. But she'll probably sell before he is. He's been there for 15 years.
Yeah.
You know? Not the asshole.
He said, no, not the asshole. Not the asshole.
No.
Paul's the asshole.
Paul
is
the
the
asshole.
asshole.
Paul.
Maybe Paul needs a little color in his life.
Yeah, maybe he does.
We're going to paint his
He's a
front
little,
yard.
as I like to say, he needs a little sage.
Sage.
Yeah,
Sage.
Sage.
Paul needs to shut his flappy yap.
Yeah.
Quit that yap from flapping.
Shut the yap, Paul.
Paul sounds like the kind of person to have a dry wedding.
Yeah.
I'm being honest.
I
And
wonder
not even because he's sober, because he didn't want to buy alcohol.
just because he's a dick.
Yeah.
He doesn't like dancing.
Yeah. These cans are all different colors. Sage and blue.
Whatever happen to a good old black Stroh's can.
Yeah.
All right, are we ready for 2 more?
Let's do it.
All right. Am I the asshole for telling my friend that she is not traumatized from somebody else's proposal? Or am I the asshole for going to the police immediately when I found out that my parents took out debt in my name?
Ooh.
Wait, what was the first one again?
Am I the asshole for telling my friend that she's not traumatized because someone else got engaged, basically?
Okay.
It's a very much like a young kids using a lot of psychology terminology.
Okay.
And the next one is going to the police when I found out a teenager found out their parents took out a bunch of debt in their name.
I'll let you decide. I
Let's
mean,
go.
the second one seems cut and dry. Like, you're obviously not going to be the asshole.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's
Agreed.
go first.
Yeah,
one.
Okay.
for identity theft.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You know,
Oh, let the parents have the money.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
credit.
Jeez.
It's just credit.
Gave you
You
life.
can get more of
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're
shot.
16. It's gonna build back up.
It's fine.
And it's a credit cards company for giving them that money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what? Your first car payment is at 19.5%. That's just life.
Welcome to America.
Yeah.
Okay. Am I the asshole for telling my friend that she isn't traumatized from someone else's proposal? I, 20 female, have 3 close friends in college: Grace, Matt, and Laura, all 21.
Okay.
Laura really likes using mental health terminology. She explores a lot of labels from those therapist influencers online. She was told that she has an anxiety disorder and depression. but
From those people online?
No, I think in
Okay.
real life.
Okay.
Fair question. That's the only diagnosis that she actually has been given so far. But recently, she's been exploring autism and ADHD.
I dabble in a little bit of autism currently. I'm in that.
Yeah. What's it called when you like trains? What's that called?
Oh, that's so me.
Yeah.
That's so me.
She's
Yeah.
the person that reads a horoscope.
Yeah.
How did they know?
Yeah.
How did they nail it?
Oh
Babe,
my-
did you know that I have diabetes
Yeah.
based on this?
Because I'm a Pisces?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That, boy.
all right,
Can you
so
just
that's
read
all-
that line again? Because I
Yeah.
really want that line
Yeah.
to be in here twice.
She was told that she has an anxiety disorder and depression, but that's the only diagnosis that she's been given so far. Recently, she's been exploring autism and ADHD.
Because there's some autistic person like, you don't explore it.
Yeah, you don't
Exactly.
dabble in it for the weekend. Become
Dabble.
autistic this
Yeah,
weekend.
dabble.
Like severe
Yeah.
autism.
You
Just
dabble
the-
in like starting a garden.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Painting your house sage.
Yeah. Sage. But
Okay, so Matt wanted to propose to Grace. They've been dating for a while, and he's been planning the proposal for a few weeks.
Yeah, they're already 20.
And
Yeah,
while the
yeah.
proposal, that's fair. I
wait.
didn't even think about that.
they're BYU, right?
Why would
They didn't say. He's been planning the proposal. It was very intimate between the two of them. And I was very involved in the scheduling of it and the after proposal event at a restaurant. The specifics of that are irrelevant to the story, but it was lovely, and Grace and Matt seem really
like that
happy.
she put that after the sentence.
Yeah.
After you read it.
Yeah, she's definitely
Yeah.
not autistic.
She's-
She would have
no,
explained
she's
the whole
like,
thing.
I love that.
Other
She's
girl.
like, she's just, that's typical. She just
Yeah.
gives us an entire detail. She's like, not relevant, but I just want
Yeah.
you to know that I was in charge of this.
100%.
That's how great of a good friend I
Yeah,
am.
this person sounds like a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
I think we're onto something. Okay, Laura told us that she did not want to be involved in planning the proposal because it reminded her of her parents' divorce.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, 50% of marriages end in divorce. I get where she makes the connection
Yeah.
there. Maybe she
That-
is
Like the
autistic.
proposal reminded her of her parents' divorce.
Yeah.
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 Imagine what the wedding's going to do to her. Ooh-wee.
She said she might come to the post-engagement party. Well, come the day of the engagement, both Matt and I forget to check on Laura. I don't think it's Matt's fault at all because he was occupied with far more important things, but I feel a bit guilty about not reminding Laura, and she ended up not coming to the party. The next day, she posts something online very dramatic about how it was traumatizing to see how little her friends cared about her and that she will be updating her followers on her trauma therapy journey.
Wow.
She
we nailed that
wait,
one.
wait, one more sentence to that.
Holy.
She then posts that she's now in a really dark place and she thinks she has PTSD.
Let's go. More.
Add that to the autism and everything else she has.
Yeah.
She's exploring PTSD.
Yeah. What's it called when you can't close your eyes at night?
Holy.
That's
Okay.
crazy.
How are her friends this awful to her? Is that what you
Because
guys
they're
are all?
20. Because they're 20 and 21. That's why.
That's amazing.
Okay. I don't know the author's name, but this is she's just as bad, I think. Okay. So for context, I'm pretty sensitive to mentions of trauma and PTSD because I was diagnosed with PTSD
course.
by a psychologist in my last year of high school after something happened in my first. And I felt a lot of guilt and shame around this because I spent a lot of time feeling that the thing that happened wasn't bad enough to count. And I sometimes still get nightmares and flashbacks, but it's gotten better after therapy. I know that I have my own issues wrapped up regarding the word, and it bothers me a lot when people seem to throw the terms around without understanding their weight. But I also acknowledge that I can't stop the internet from doing its thing.
This whole friend group
You're
sounds
not
like it's
kidding.
a
So she's essentially mad that the other one is claiming to have
That
these
Laura-
disorders.
Right.
when
Because
she
she has.
actually, yeah,
When
she
right, yeah,
actually
she's
has.
like,
Gatekeeping the, as they would say.
Yeah.
She's gatekeeping,
Gatekeeping the-
autism. Or, Those are my
PTSD.
things.
PTSD.
Yeah.
yeah, that's wild.
She said, I have not told any of my college friends this, so Laura doesn't even know. At one point, she called me and started explaining how traumatized she is from not being invited to the after or not going to the after party. And I finally snapped and said, you're not traumatized. Stop being dramatic. You got exactly what you asked for.
Wait, why didn't she go? Was she
Because-
not
because
invited?
no, she was invited, but
Okay.
they forgot to remind her that the because she didn't want to be part of the engagement. But she's like, I may go to the after party.
The engagement was like intimate
And
just
then-
for Grace and,
Right.
and Matt, apparently.
Right.
And the one super special friend.
Yeah.
Well, the one
right.
super special friend wasn't there either. She was only at the after party. She helped set it up, like,
But then she
organize
forgot
it.
to tell her friend that the after party was that day. So
Okay, so the friend
so
didn't know
just
at all
forgot
that it
about
was
it.
that.
I think she
knew.
She knew, but she
ish,
forgot.
but
Well,
maybe
that's
wasn't.
her fault then.
I know. She says
is
now
dealing with a lot.
now I feel guilty because I feel like I was a little harsh, and she's posting online that one friend that she thought she could rely on to support her is abusive and doesn't understand how being traumatized works. However, I feel like honestly, Laura's being very dramatic about an event that's not about her. I
Yeah.
called my mom to see what her opinion is, and she told me that I could have reminded Laura about the party. And while my point is not necessarily wrong, I should have been more sensitive. So now I'm not sure. Am I the asshole?
You're all assholes. You're all assholes. That is
Every-
the craziest. That made my head spin.
Yeah.
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 I called my mom to ask her what she thought, and she said, "Don't ever call me again." I don't give
Yeah,
a
I called my mom to get her opinion, but she changed her number,
Yeah.
which was super sus, and it's very traumatizing
Super
to me.
sus
It's
is
very
what you said.
traumatizing to me. Like, wow. Okay, first off, I'm not discrediting mental health. Of
course
but
not.
You cannot diagnose yourself on like you can think you have something, but let a professional diagnose it. Like these people that are like, that's me, that's who I am, so I'm definitely
There's
have
comments.
it.
You know, the thing, like, to go from having, you know, to say that, like, your friends are getting engaged,
Right.
and you can't be a part of that because your parents got divorced.
That's right away.
Wild.
Look, and like you said, I'm all for mental. I get, you know, there's mental health.
You're a
there's issues.
victim. You're
But
just
yeah, that is, come on.
victim
Like,
mentality.
you can't be happy for your friends being engaged because
Right.
your parents got divorced.
That's the
How are you going to go through
weirdest
life? I can't
thing.
watch Titanic. They fall in love. You know my parents' story.
You know my dad's a boat.
Yeah, come on.
That's a boat. Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
I'm gonna say okay. So you're not the asshole because it's not your responsibility to look after your friend,
Correct.
regardless. But also the fact that she said she's dabbling in autism now, you don't like that's
Yeah.
that's such a fucking crazy line to me.
I'm gonna give the. I don't know if it's the first one that both are assholes.
They're all assholes.
Oh.
Yeah, they're all assholes.
Yeah,
I
'cause
agree.
she's a mean friend.
Wait, I
for
feel like
sure.
Matt and Grace are left out of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Laura
Yeah, it's their
and
special
original
day.
poster
Right.
assholes.
Right. Yeah. And then if you go to the other thing is like you go online to bitch about your friends instead of going to your friends like an adult and then saying you're gonna come with me on my trauma journey.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like who are you? No one gives a fuck.
Right.
No
Yeah.
one cares.
This is your day.
Yeah.
This is Matt,
Even
Matt
if
and
it was
Grace.
your day, I guarantee you no one cares.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
No
They
one
all
cares.
suck.
They all suck.
They all suck. Sorry. Sorry.
Yeah.
You all-
Although, please keep us posted on the wedding details.
Yeah.
That's gonna be good.
Yeah.
It's gonna
And
be a
can
fun
we
wedding.
be invited?
It was actually the prelude to the first story that we read, and then it was a dry wedding. So then they left
Yeah,
because
that's
it was
true.
traumatizing that she couldn't have alcohol at the wedding.
That's true. It all
Full
these are
circle.
all connected.
Yeah, these full circle. And
It's all
we have time for one mouse. Uno
Okay.
mouse.
Am I the asshole for ruining my own gender reveal party?
Okay. We're gonna let him decide or her.
Or am I the asshole for telling my sister-in-law to go fuck herself at her baby's sip and see?
Wait, what's a
What's
sip
a
and
sip and
see?
A sip and see is like once you have the baby, you just have people come over and like meet the baby. You don't do like a
Come let us adore.
a lot
him.
of people. Well,
It's
a
a post gender reveal
It's like a
party.
meet and greet
Well,
for the
yeah.
baby.
kind of, and a lot of
Yeah.
people do it instead of having like a baby shower for their maybe sometimes for their second
hold
child.
on, time out. When
What?
you said sip and see, I thought you meant like sip and then see what the see it's in a boy or girl, but you just meant
no.
see the baby.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Like they're just
That's why I called it a post gender reveal party.
It's a baby meet and greet.
It's a baby meet
a
and
baby
greet.
meet and
With
greet.
alcohol.
With
You
alcohol.
thought they
Yeah.
were all in like the room as it's coming out.
All right, lift
Everyone
the
gets
Hey!
lift the dress up. It's got a dick. That girl's got a dick.
Yeah.
What was the first one? again?
okay. Ruining my own gender reveal party,
Okay, so it's all about both babies.
Yeah.
or telling.
Which one's better?
I feel like the gender reveal party is funnier.
Okay, deal.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
I
Okay.
would have picked that one.
You say you would have?
Yeah. That sounded. I think everybody hates gender reveal
Oh,
parties. At
equally,
This point.
yeah.
Honestly,
I want to hear how someone ruins one.
You like them?
no. I hate
Oh,
them. Sorry,
okay, yeah,
I do.
yeah, yeah.
I don't mind if somebody wants to like do something and post like, oh, we
Right.
Yeah.
got a
Boy,
balloon or we
yeah.
like whatever. If you
Right.
want to do that and say here's what the gender is, that's
Sure.
fine. Having a whole thing and then doing things that like
It's I'm like
Fireworks
I think,
and
yeah,
shit,
I
like-
feel like you overestimate how much I care about what
Yeah.
comes out of your vagina.
Also,
Like just in general.
I
honestly.
also say I hate them, but no one's ever invited me to.
Is
So,
that traumatizing to you, Mike?
Oh,
Is that
Mike.
traumatizing?
do you need to go to therapy for
I
that?
was
was
gonna
just
dabble
trying
in
to think
autism
about it.
now?
I was trying to think about it. I was like, I've never been invited one.
Do you have
Maybe-
PTSD now?
I might.
Because
I've
you
never.
did-
I'm processing.
Wait till
it
your
right
boys
now.
start having kids,
Yeah.
and then you will be invited to one probably. Then
They said that. They said that?
Well, they didn't say it specifically, but I feel like
We've got our fingers crossed.
yeah,
Hopefully.
yeah.
Yeah. We'll have a.
Also, if
We'll
they
have a reveal on the if we're having a gender reveal.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say
yeah.
if they have a gender reveal party, we're disowning them.
That's fair. That's fair. Smart.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right. Am I the asshole for ruining my own gender reveal party? I'm pregnant with a baby boy due in November.
Oh, shit. Already. It's already ruined.
I see the problem. She put that in the invitation. Yeah. Please
Why
come
is
to our
everyone wearing
gender reveal.
blue?
No wonder everybody knew. What the fuck?
I didn't even catch it. Until
We were all like, it's over.
Maybe we would like to go to
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
Turns out we like a surprise.
I'm just mad no one's invited me.
my fiance and I didn't care much about the gender of our child, so we didn't make too much noise about it once we found out.
Just want it to be healthy. 10 fingers, 10 toes, and a penis. I guess I do care. Yeah. I guess I do care.
Shit.
The only people we'd informed were our mom and dad, their partners, and our siblings. Prior to this, my father's girlfriend of 3 years had been asking me about my plans for a gender reveal party. I've always been clear about not wanting one. When I announced my son's gender to them, she expressed disappointment that I hadn't changed my mind about a party. I don't like gender reveals, never have, never will. I prefer baby showers, which I think feel more about the actual child.
And you get gifts.
Yeah.
Totally.
So that's
Yeah.
True.
in for
Oh,
that.
do people gift at gender reveals?
How do you buy for something like all gender neutral things?
Well, you can do that.
Yeah.
That's
diapers.
that's a question for our friends and followers because I
Yes.
don't know the answer to that.
I don't know.
I would assume you.
How
it's
would
the
you know?
same.
You've never been invited to
I
one.
know. That's probably why I'm a bad gift giver.
I guess I haven't either.
Yeah. I don't. I've never been to one.
Hey, anybody's having a gender reveal party.
Who wants to invite us?
Yeah.
We'll bring the
potato
tequila.
salad.
We'll broadcast live.
Shit. So close. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Days later, my father's girlfriend invited me over for tea at their apartment. My dad was out of town. When I got there, about a dozen people popped out of hiding to surprise me. There were pink and blue decorations everywhere, which made what was going on pretty clear.
Oh, she had a surprise.
It was a
gender
it was
reveal.
it was a paint and sip.
Oh, no.
Sip. As I stood there in shock, my father's girlfriend excitedly told me they were throwing me a surprise gender reveal party.
Wow.
Since I had already told her, she had taken it upon herself to order a cake with colorful frosting, decorate the apartment, and invite a bunch of people over. The guests included her mother, whom I do not get along with, some of her friends, my mother-in-law, not my mom, and 4 of my friends. As I later found out, my mother-in-law and friends had been told I'd changed my mind about gender reveals.
Nice.
I had not. Still in the doorway, I looked over at everyone and said, "It's a boy. You guys can go home now."
Nice. Love that. Love that.
Oh.
Umbilical drop.
She
Wow.
said, I left without looking back.
Oh.
Hours later,
kinda-
my father called me furious that I had ruined the party. He said his girlfriend had put a ton of effort, money, and love into planning it, and I should have shown respect and gratitude for it. Apparently, she hadn't stopped crying since I left.
It sounds like a scene from like a TV show, and like
Right.
she says that, walks out, and then one person's like, "So it's a boy." Yeah, and like
One
yeah,
streamer pops
yeah, a blue streamer pops out, like real dramatic, and
All right, time for cake. That's an episode of The Office.
Yeah, right.
For sure,
Yeah,
yeah.
100%.
Like think Michael would be the one just blowing the streamer, and Kevin's like, "So what is it?"
It has been almost a week. They're both still upset. Even after I explained I never wanted that party in the first place, they are insisting I could have sucked it up for an hour at least cut the cake. Yeah. Am I the asshole?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's one of those things where like you said you didn't want one, but then this person went through all the
Right.
effort. Just pretend, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Just
Exactly.
'cause
How hard?
because they put in a bunch of like she purposefully walked to the door and been like, "It's a boy. You guys can all go." Like she was being an
Right.
asshole.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if the question is, "Am I the asshole?" Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
you
being
were.
the asshole for sure.
yeah, like she shouldn't have had the party without,
For
you know, like clearing it with you. You had been clear, but once it was in motion, yeah.
You just
what are
gotta
you
go
doing?
through it.
Okay.
Yeah,
What
you
are
just
you
got to
doing?
go
I
through it.
I do agree because she could have just handled it better.
Yeah.
There were some of her people there.
Right.
It's annoying. You can hate it, but like you didn't have to be rude. I completely agree with that. But this is her dad's girlfriend,
Yeah.
and she didn't invite her own mother.
Yeah, that was weird. I didn't
Yeah.
know if I
She
heard
said-
that right.
Well, that makes sense because like it's probably her dad's ex-wife.
Well, yeah.
Right, so like they didn't
gotcha,
want
gotcha.
that. Yeah, I mean, like that's not acceptable.
No.
but so like,
But people asked, and
Right.
she said her first response on why she didn't invite my mom is because she didn't have her number. And she said, honestly, that's probably true. But like, how did she then get my mother-in-law's
yeah.
number?
Also, her dad has the number.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, she probably knew the mom would be like, she
That's
doesn't
exactly
want.
what she said. I
she
knew.
doesn't want one.
I bet she didn't invite my mother because she knew she wouldn't back her up.
Right.
If my mother had been invited, she would have told me because she knows I don't want
Right,
anything
yeah.
like this.
Right.
So
Again, but the question is, am I the asshole for ruining the party?
yes, you're right.
And I think that
Yeah.
the overlying thing is like, yeah, you are the asshole because you definitely ruined the party.
Right. People made time for you.
Yeah,
People bought
that's another
gifts.
good thing.
Yeah, people.
we don't know if they
came
buy
over to
gifts,
celebrate you.
but they definitely made time
Yeah.
for her that day.
I'm sure people buy gifts. I think when you see
Yeah,
like
I'm
those crazy
assuming
ones,
something little.
there's like a
maybe.
gift
Yeah,
table
you're
when you
right.
when you see like those crazy ones, like the
Right.
plane going over or something. There's always like a gift table.
And then half of
Yeah.
California burns down.
Yeah, right. That's what I always think of.
I feel like we should drunk history some of these stories.
Yeah.
Like where
Yeah.
we read them and then we just like reenact them
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
Drunk, and like we're like,
still love
I walk in looking pregnant and like you guys are like, surprise! And I'm just like, it's a boy. Fuck off.
Yeah, that is a great moment of her doing that, though.
Yeah.
I'll give her that.
It's a boy. You can all go home now.
Right.
That's pretty.
That's
That's
harsh.
Yeah.
pretty good, though.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna say, Alana, what do you think? I said she is the asshole for sure.
Yeah.
Both of the assholes. She shouldn't have had
Shouldn't have had to
a
party.
non-consensual gender reveal
You're
party.
gonna do it. You're gonna love it.
Yeah.
Non-consensual gender reveal.
That's fair. Speaking of drunk history, what we should do is we should do one of these shows just drunk and
do
just
it.
see what happens. Like one night we should just get a little tipsy, a
More than a
BAC
little.
above, yeah,
than a
BAC above the legal limit to
We
drive.
should do a little breathalyzer because we have to make sure Alana gets as drunk as the rest of us.
Yeah, you look like the kind of person that would dabble in
Yeah.
autism.
Doing shots of water.
She's exploring it, Derek. She's exploring it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as it's a weekend.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's go. Hey, and if you're here with us all the way to the end, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please make sure to rate, review, subscribe anywhere podcasts are. Tell a friend about this podcast, or we're going to throw you a surprise gender reveal party and not bring gifts over.
Against your will.
Against your will, because as always, we've been Bad Potato Salad and Kendall.
You've been served.
Let's go.